Erik, for giving actually a very good speech on such short notice based off your experience at the TLI. Your speech that basically I would call getting most from evaluations. And I think I'm going to try your sandwich approach and take a look at your buns and the meat that's in between. I wouldn't want to do a perfunctory service to you here.
No.
Let me start by saying that I know as a grammarian you were already up here giving a speech, so I didn't know if you would necessarily critique yourself. But I did want to point out you had some really good word uses, such as behoove. Not that it's not a word that we necessarily use all the time, but it really, I think, provides emphasis when we use words like that are outside the norm. I think that's very important. It's not that you're trying to show off. Sometimes it provides an emphasis on what it is that you're going to talk about. So I thought that was very good. You also used some very good hand gestures while you were doing your speech. But at the same time then, as I get into the meat of your sandwich, there were a lot of other gestures or hand things that were going on that sort of distracted it. So imagine that's like static on a radio. If you're listening to a radio and all of a sudden there's other stuff going on, you're gonna what was the words? I'm not enjoying this song so much. The same thing goes with hand gestures. When you give something very specific, it's very good. If you're not giving something very specific, leave it alone. Along those lines, you gave us 5 different points, not counting your extra thing at the end. A lot of times, didn't matter what the number was, it was right here. I noticed specifically when you got to 3, you were like 3, and then 4 was here. And then there was no 5. There was no hand gesture for 5. So that consistency would be a very important thing to have in that speech when you're providing hand gestures or providing something like counting, just like I said before about timeline, starting over here and then ending over here. One thing to critique you on when it came to word usage as grammarian was genuinely interested, not genuinely interested. You actually said genuinely interested, which I thought could be a very funny thing to use at some point, to use the term wine, W-H-I-N-E, or maybe even W-I-N-E when using the word genuine. Your closing was very, very good. Because not only did you give us these 5 things, you didn't necessarily tell us you were going to give us 5, but you told us you were going to be telling these things. Then at the end, as you summarized, you wrapped up, you then gave us a little bonus, which I think was a nice surprise, a nice way to end a speech. For being an impromptu speech, even though it was something you went and saw the TLI and you weren't necessarily ready to do, you did a really good job on it. Take some deep breaths, keep on going, and continue to end those speeches well like that. I really appreciated it. Thank you.